So what I have here is a basic fundamental Java class named freefall and has the main method, public static void main, which will serve as an entry point to my freefall. So when the freefall is executed, any code inside of these two brackets will be executed. So the first thing first. Um, so now we know what the G is. So I'm going to create a type double, a variable named G, and assign that G with the 9.8. Public static final double G equal 9.8. And then inside of my main method, I'm going to start my processing. So the first thing first, I'm going to ask as user to input a number. So please enter a number. But I don't want the users to put any kind of number, like including the decimal. So I'm going to tell them do not put any decimal number. So I'm going to say no decimal numbers. Okay. Now, what I have to do is I have to somehow figure out a way to capture what the user's input is. That's being done by scanner equal new scanner. Now I have to import scanner into my code. That's done. Now what do I have to do is I have to capture it. So it's going to be int h. Now what's h? Height. So we know what user is inputting is the height. So scan. So scanner's next int method will take the user's input and convert it into an integer. So I don't have to do any work there. And since I have the height and I don't need the scanner anymore, I have to close the scanner right there. And now the real work has to happen here. So what's going to be, so we have t is equal to square root of 2 times h over g. Right? So somehow, some way, I'm going to have to make that into Java. So how do I do that? And every time there's a fraction, there's a really good chance that the answer will be a fraction. So instead of having an int, I'm going to declare t as double as well. So I'm going to do double t is equal to 2 times h divided by g. So if you look at this, asterisk serve as a multiplication, and then forward slash, you may have already noticed it's a division. And h, we already have it here, and g is already initialized to 9.8. So we don't have to do anything, you just start grabbing and using. But this is not all, right? I have to figure out a way to square root this whole value. Now to do that, usually we use math class in Java. So math, and then call square root method, and put everything inside the bracket. So now I have an answer, the seconds, the t. So what do I have to do? I have to display the value to the user. So I'm going to have to print it. So I'll say time it took. Oh, wait a second. It takes t seconds from h meters high. So what's happening here? I got the t and I have the h from user. So in the end, I'm displaying everything, all the information that I have to the user in a more friendly way, more so uh, polished way. So it would say it takes so and so seconds from so and so meters high. So that's our code, and let's run it. So it's asking me, please enter a number, no decimal numbers. So I'm not going to enter any decimal number, and we'll start with 50 since that's what we're assuming. So using the 50, it tells us that it takes 3.1943 blah 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 seconds from 50 meters high, which exactly what we're expecting. Um, but what if we wanted to find out how long would it take to run? I mean, how long would it take to fall 100 meters? No problem. We put 100 there and then enter. It says it takes 4.5 seconds from 100 meters high. Well, that's kind of odd because if you drop something in 50 meters, it takes about 3.19 seconds. If you drop 100 meters high, it only takes 4.5 seconds? Would it be something like 6 point something seconds? Well, what we're talking about here is math, but we are not considering the fact that it's acceleration. So what it's saying is if you drop something in 1,000 meters, it won't take 10 times what it would take 100 meters. It will be even faster because what we're looking at here is acceleration, not just the speed. But on top of the speed, it's acceleration. So it's going to get faster and faster. That's what we're seeing here. There is our code again. For your purpose, you can copy it or you can make any kind of modification. You can play around with it, putting different numbers. Um, you know, have at it. Just try to understand what's going on here. And it's basically we're asking the question to user to enter a number, and then use that entered number, inputted number. Go through the process, and then in the end we just display what was the answer or result of it. And we have seen it. I'm restating it again. So if you put 50 meters, the 3.19 seconds will be the result. But if you put 100 meter, it will be not 6.38 seconds. It's going to be 4.51 seconds because it is acceleration. So it gets faster and faster. So if you put 200 meters, it's not going to be like 8 seconds, but it's only going to be 6 seconds to reach the bottom. So there's an exercise. Use the free fall equation in programming. So use the same program that we just seen or used. Just make one modification to the existing program so that it accepts height in feet, not in meters. What you have to do is instead of using meters conversion factor, use the feet conversion factor. And we have gone through that. Briefly we talked about it during the presentation. So grab that information, make the appropriate change to the Java program that we worked on together, and run it and see if it makes any difference. Should only take about 10 minutes. So please do um, try and see if it works. And if there's any problem or question, you can shoot me an email. Um, so I think that's a wrap. I hope you guys had good information through today's session. I'm hoping to see you again in the next session. Next session will be about factorial numbers. So keep your eyes open and keep your ears open. Until next time, bye.